Not something MacIver News typically covers, but Marvel Comics released the first issue of its new Captain America series on Wednesday, and Marvel decided to make some strong ideological statements on some hot political topics. The new villains in this comic are conservatives, who are portrayed as a right-wing terrorist group called the Sons of the Serpent. They stop a group of immigrants trying to cross the border, who they accuse of invading a sovereign land to spread disease and crime, take American jobs, and collect welfare. Then Captain America comes and beats them up. Those in the country who disagree with Captain America's new partisan agenda accuse him of being anti-American, against the Constitution. They even call him Captain Socialism. He says all he wanted to do was to bring folks together.
All right, we have news from the comic book world, and we're going to let the expert on this subject take it away. Clayton, what's going on?
Well, you know, comic books have been struggling over the past few years, Tucker, because more and more Americans are going to see movies. They're going to Marvel movies, of course, to see the Avengers, and so comic books have been struggling to get readership. And here you have Marvel doing a little bit of a PR stunt. In fact, they've made Sam Wilson, who was formerly the Falcon, he's an African American. He's taking over as Captain America now, but he's got a new odd enemy. Instead of going against Hydra and the typical Captain America villains, he's going up against conservatives. That's his new enemy.
And here's a quote from the book of the series. Attention, all trespassers. I am the supreme serpent. By invading this sovereign land, you defy the laws of God, nature, and the United States Constitution. Therefore, I hereby apprehend you by the power vested in me by the aforementioned God, nature, etc., etc.
So who is this serpent? Is this serpent an Islamic extremism, an ISIS member bent on destroying Western civilization? No. The serpent is an American who has misgivings about unlimited illegal immigration and the costs associated with it.
Right.
And that, according to the comic book, is evil.
Right. So these serpents are stopping people from coming over the border, and Captain America is saying, that's not going to happen on my watch. I'm Captain America. Here's what the comic book goes on to say. Oh, I believe you, sir. I can see you have enough trouble with you already. Trouble and disease and crime weigh heavy on your backs.
Interesting.
Of course, an interesting discussion around the idea of disease and rapists and everything else.
But the whole theme is the same, which is out there in the middle of the country between Malibu and Georgetown, everyone is an ignorant, snake-handling bigot, and they need to be held in place or else they'll turn this into Nazi Germany. It's like the people who run this country, a lot of them actually believe that. I live near them. They really think that.
They should do a comic book on the opposite with the people who are working the border to keep us safe.
Well, what about back in the day when these comic books, Captain America used to be punching Hitler in the face. That was the front page of a Captain America comic book back during World War II.
And now the threat comes from ordinary Americans. Probably some of you watching at home. They think you're dangerous.
Keep politics out of comic books. That's what I say.